What's up everybody? So in this video I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily get in and out of positions during pre-market and after-hours activity on TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim. So you've probably seen that sometimes after hours or even during pre-market, news can break on a stock or something else can happen that causes it to start selling off or getting bought up. And so people want to make changes to their positions during this time, whether they're buying or selling, and they probably can't figure out how to get an order through because market orders during this time won't work. So for this, you're going to need to do a limit order. You're going to need to do the appropriate time and force option. So we're going to go through all of that, and we're going to do it both on the TD Ameritrade website and also in the TD Ameritrade platform using Active Trader and Level 2. So if you're somebody that just puts orders in on the website, you don't really get in Thinkorswim, I do strongly recommend you start using Thinkorswim if you're going to be doing this particular process, because the website will not provide you the visibility that Thinkorswim will do. To kind of see maybe why your orders aren't getting filled and what you can potentially do to change those orders and get a better chance of getting them filled. So we're going to jump right into it here in Thinkorswim. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Active Trader window. That's here on the top right. So click on Active Trader. So mine maybe looks a little bit different than yours. I do have a video out there about this particular function. So I'm not going to spend any time going through these individual steps. I've linked that video below in the description. You can go check that one out. But basically, so these buy market, sell market, flatten buttons are completely useless during these times. It has to be a limit order. So I do have my buttons down here. Join the ask, so work to sell at ask, sell the bid, buy the ask, work to buy at bid, or join the bid. So these are what we're going to use to be able to buy and sell with limit. And so the next component is going to be the time and force option here. So you can see I have it set at GTC EXT. I believe for this process you can also use EXT, but I would recommend using GTC EXT. And the reason for that is because out of these four options, really the only two that fit after hours and pre-market are going to be EXT and GTC EXT, because so if you put time and force as day, that means your order is only going to be active and filled during the market open and that particular day, or during the trading hours, I mean. And so GTC is good till cancel. That basically means your order will hang out there and will try to get filled until you cancel it, but it's only going to happen during the market open hours. So EXT is going to be extended hours, so pre-market and after hours. And then GTC EXT is basically going to be good till canceled plus extended hours. So in theory, this basically means the order can just hang out there until it gets filled. But be aware of the fact that pre-market activity is only for 3.5 hours before market open and for 4 hours after market closes. After that, they shouldn't really be filling any orders. So it's not really good till cancel, but it will hang out there as long as the market is filling orders, which is during market hours and during pre-market and after hours times. So GTC EXT is going to be the time and force. So we're just going to hit the join the bid here to try to buy one share. But in order to do this, we want to see where they're filling orders. And so you can actually see down here in the bottom, the current price is going to be at 95.52 on the bid side, and it's going to be at 95.63 on the ask side. So we can kind of see this better in the level 2 actually. If you pop open the level 2 here, you can see 95.55, there's some bid size here on that, and then 95.63, there's some ask size on this. So when we go to put an order in and we click on join the bid, it's going to naturally try to put us in right here where they're filling orders. So you can see when I hover over this. So it says work to buy at bid, and you see it pops up right here at that level. Buy one share limit at 95.55. So we click that. So you see we just got filled one share there at 95.55. So now if we try to sell this share, you typically would try to use join the ask. I'm going to try that, but I found it's difficult to get filled during these times doing that, but we'll see what happens. So we'll now click on join the ask. So now we're trying to sell one share at limit at 95.55, and you see it's not going through. So what I usually do to kind of combat this, to kind of get myself out of positions, is I usually do this sell the bid button, and see how I'm right now. So I did lose 3 cents on that, going from buying on bid and selling on bid. But during these times with this being such low volume and low liquidity, sometimes you gotta do to get out. It's just kind of the way this works. Pre-market tends to have better volume and liquidity than after hours. So maybe it'll work better during that time, but during after hours here, you can see it's difficult to get filled. So now how would you do this on the TD Ameritrade website, right? If you don't have Thinkorswim, how do you do this? So I've set up my order thing right here. So I'm going to buy one share of AMD, limit order. And I just put $95 in there for now, and time and force is going to be GTC plus extended hours and today's date. So you can see here it does actually tell you the current bid and ask prices. So it says $95.49 on the bid and $95.60 on the ask. So I think in theory, if you were to take this and put in $95.50, maybe go a cent above the bid, you'd probably get filled pretty easily. If you were to go below that, now you're going to have a little more trouble, especially during these after hours times where there's kind of a fixed bid in place here where they're basically filling orders at certain prices, buying and selling. We're going to basically put just 95 in here just to kind of show that it will go in the same way as the last order. So we do a review order, place order. So now you see we're down here on the bottom level. We're trying to buy one share at $95. So we're 49 cents from the bid, and therefore our order will not get filled because they're filling orders now at $95.49. So be aware of that, especially if you're doing orders in the website, because a lot of times you'll probably look in like your order status and you'll see your orders just hanging out there, not getting filled. You're not going to know why on the website. But if you come in here into Thinkorswim, you have all the visibility now to really kind of see what's going on and say, okay, I see. I went too low. I got to bump my bid up 50 cents or whatever the case may be. And that way then you can really kind of get a better chance of getting filled during these times. So that concludes the video, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you learned something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.